This is a new top I'm going to be working on for a customer, and it's the back side of it. I lay it on the leaders like this so that the frays don't stick to anything. And I've measured this, and it's 47 inches across. And the length of the quilt is 58.5 inches. She's brought me a piece of fabric for the backing that's 45 inches wide, so I'm going to sew a seam. And I wanted to tell everyone how longarmers like pieced backings done. That quilt, 47 inches, I need a backing that's 8 inches wider than that. So 47 and 8 would be 55. Ideally, the width of this backing should be 110 inches, which is 55 times 2, because we're going to sew it together. Now, I don't like to cut it before I sew it together. I like to put the ends together and start sewing. But usually I only like to do that if the backing has been torn on the grain, because I know it's perfectly straight on grain. I'll start sewing the two ends together, and I'll wait until I get down to the very last part of it. Like within 5 or 6 inches. And then I'll tear or take my scissors and cut if one of the ends isn't torn on grain. It'll make this back be exactly what I need. 55 inches. And the length of it will be probably 86 inches. And since that's 58.5 inches long, that's more than enough. Another thing I like to do is try to get the seam exactly in the middle. So let's say that the back is 86 inches and the quilt is 58.5. I know my little red snappers on my quilt leader is going to take up about an inch. These little things, when they're wrapped around the fabric, takes up about an inch. And if this is 86 inches and an inch is taken off each end that's wrapped over the bottom leader and the upper leader, that leaves me with 84 inches. 84 minus 58.5. Do the math. And then divide that by 2. And that's how far down, when you load your leader, that's how far down from the top you want to be when you lay your quilt on there, so that the seam falls right in about the middle. And most longarmers like the seam to be across, parallel to the leader bars. And the only time we don't like it that way is, well, of course, the quilt is longer than 86 inches. And the reason being, most sewing machines will not sew an even seam. And when you load your leader with the vertical seam, there's a slump on each side of the seam, unless you load it on your table crossways, where the quilt is long this way and short this way, and it makes it difficult because you have fewer patterns that you're able to put on it. So in order to get this even on both sides and not have one side come out 2 or 3 inches longer, you need to leave it, not cut it. Start sewing, and then when you get close to the end, either cut it with a scissor on a crease that you make, or tear it if it's already been torn. on grain. And if you worry about the bruised edge, just put an iron on it. It'll be just as good as new. And that's pretty much it.